Wait, what? What did Ayden Heaven just say? Could it actually be good injury news for Manchester United for a change? I'm going to tell you exactly what he said and what is expected this week from Manchester United and the updates around Ayden Heaven. I'm also going to be talking, which I usually always do, as soon as them players land on international duty. My God, they don't half run their mouths, do they? Look, they're obliged to actually talk to their countries and the media wherever they're going in their national teams. And they have been opening up on everything, namely the Danish players. My God, Eriksson, Rasmus, talking it up. Manchester United transfer news and updates on the striker front this time. Andre Onana feels safe. What's happening with Jadon Sancho? And everything around Marcus Rashford as well. A jam-packed show this evening for you all to get involved in. So please do get involved in the live chat. Get your comments in there. Obviously, if you're playing catch-up, you're still at work, or you're out training or doing whatever. I hope you are training and not wasting your time. Then get your comments in below afterwards as well, please, on all the topics we discussed tonight. You might as well give the video a like. If you are free and you're watching right now and you can't get into the live chats because you're not subscribed, so please do hit the subscribe button as well, everyone, and let's get cracking with the show and what's going on. And I want to start with a big, well, I hope I'm not jumping the gun on this here, but when you read between the lines and you read into the Ayden Heaven situation off the back of what looked like an horrific injury. Then we went to the Ruben Amorim comments a little bit after that, where he said he's a young lad, he doesn't know what injury he's got right now, he can't tell us anything, so we can't say anything, we'll have to assess it a little bit more. He did leave at the King Power Stadium in a protective boot, yes, but was unaided in walking out, which is a positive. And the biggest news we've got is from Stephen Railsford, who is very close to Manchester United's academy players with the MEN, and he has said, coming directly from the MEN and Manchester United, is that Man United are expected to clarify Ayden Heaven's injury situation this week, but the fact he didn't visit the hospital and left in a protective boot must be seen as a positive ahead of the announcement. He didn't go to hospital, which is excellent news. So reality there would tell us if he's not had to go to hospital, he's not had to go and get an emergency scan or anything like that, it looks good. Ayden Heaven has taken to social media as well on Instagram to say thank you to everybody for the messages. He says he's read through all of the messages, he's gone through every single one of them, he appreciates it, he is recovering fast, with a lover at the end of that message as well. Recovering fast, that bodes well. Not going to hospital bodes very well. And obviously the sort of the no real concern, or I look, he's going to miss out for a few weeks, I think. I'm guessing. I don't know. Like he seems really upbeat at the moment, which is good. And if he's recovering very fast, then that's all good. I mean, you've always got that bonus with young players when the bodies recover a lot quicker than the older players do. Trust me, I know that all too well right now. My God, yeah. But Ayden Heaven feeling confident. United expected to update us on this, but Stephen Railsford from the MEN and around Manchester United reporting on this has said that it does look a little bit more positive than it did on Sunday evening when he went down and was stretchered off. The fact that he walked out of there was good anyway, but the fact that he's talking openly now and he's happy, no real bad or sort of negative messages coming out of Manchester United regarding Ayden Heaven right now, which is a huge positive. And I think that this is probably is our luck changing? It's the question I'm asking right now. I'm jumping onto that big positive because there's lots of news coming out today as well around all of the ticketing still and everything like that. And there's been messages from the 58 group and it's been all over the news. Honestly, I just want to talk about something else right now. I really do. I'm sick of all of the crap vibes going around Manchester United. I just want to look at this and go, young lad that we have brought in cheap, who has been doing well, looked like his season may have been over, is now possibly back for a few more games this season as well. Massive plus points. And by this I mean not negative, and a positive coming from Ayden Heaven is that he can still play this season. Looking at that, and when he went down, you're automatically thinking, geez, no, not the ankle ligaments, please don't have him out for a prolonged period of time. It could have been anything. And we said at the time, Ayden Heaven doesn't really know his body yet. He hasn't had an injury yet, so he's not too sure as to what's happened. Ruben said that he cannot tell him anything because he doesn't know. He doesn't know his own body yet. So realistically, this is his first injury, you could say, in football. Not a nice one, or it looked like at the time, but it's looking positive. And if he's back in a month, that's still good news. That's still good news. So I'm not going to say, look, he's going to be back straight after international break. I don't know. I doubt it, is what I'm saying. But the fact that it looked like the season could have been over, if he can get back going into the latter stages of April, that's a bonus for Manchester United just to have him back in amongst the team. And let's not forget, like Manchester United, I think, what is it, the 10th we play against Lyon in the Europa League. We've got like just around about just under a month's time before we're actually back in the big important game of the season, which is Lyon in the Europa League. So plenty of time for Ayden Heaven to recover and get back in the squad. And let's not forget as well, on top of him, we've actually got the likes of Harry Maguire and Lenny Yoro both coming back to full fitness over this international break as well. So bring on the positives, please, and let's just ride that wave of positivity that is still there right now, because I got a feeling that it's not going to be easy to continue it going into the last stages of this season still. But yeah, that is a big plus for Manchester United, and I look at this and say, right now, I'll take that all day long. And really good, because he has been a player that has turned, I think, part of this season around. His emergence from the bench against the likes of Fulham and then Arsenal has really transformed Manchester United, and no coincidence that him on the pitch has coincided with Manchester United's upturning form, and someone who has just come in and really lifted the team around him as well, I think. And he seems to have slotted in really well with the squad. He's getting on well with other players, and you could see the concern amongst the Manchester United players on Sunday when he went down injured. So really right now, with him coming back, I think this is just going to give us another little bit of a confidence boost again amongst the squad and the players, and knowing that we've actually got depth back again with all these games coming up and big games coming up. I'm absolutely I won't say over the moon. That's going a little bit too far, but I'm chuffed. I'm chuffed as cheese with Ayden Heaven actually being, well, I don't know yet because it's not official. I'm just gauging the vibes right now in terms of what's coming out with Ayden Heaven, but it looks good anyway. It looks good, and I'm having it. I'm taking it, please. I am taking it. Let's get into the comments, actually, and see how everyone's feeling about everything right now. It's been a long old day, a strange old day for news again for Manchester United, hasn't it? But let's gauge the chats and see how we're all doing in the live comments section, everybody. Wow, over 130 likes already. See, I told you, positive news. That's what you're going to get on this channel. It's not always doom and gloom like other places, but we are going to bring you them good vibes, and I feel like there is a bit of an upturn in the fan base, within our subscriber base anyway, here on FUTV, and things are looking a little bit more upwards, and we're looking on that positive train right now, and I can feel it. I can feel it. Please make sure you have subscribed as well to Forever United TV. We are only a 300 and odd away from 75k, which is officially 3/4 of the way there to the silver play button. So be part of the FUTV journey, everybody. Thank you so much if you have done already, and have done recently. Welcome along. Let's get into the comments section. We've got plenty to talk about. We're going to be talking about Onana, Sancho, Marcus Rashford. We're going to be talking about Rasmus Højlund, Christian Eriksen, what he said as well. Some transfer news to bring into you also from this afternoon and what's been said. And yeah, I feel like there is, I said it just a minute ago then, one of them strange days today where all of a sudden, because international break is underway, everyone's arrived with their national teams and training has started there. Everyone's talking all of a sudden. It's the usual. It's like, oh God, we've waited 3 months for the next international break, and as soon as we make it, we're actually then, bang, here we go. Let's go and open our mouths and talk about everything. I mean, United, I've got quite a few players that are staying back anyway because of the injury situation and players getting back to full fitness. So it's not a whole one, but nearly every player that's gone has actually opened his mouth, it would seem. Ahmad is a number 10 player, not a right wing back. Nico, don't go back on my video familiar on, mates. He's played half of his games at right wing back. He can play there. He can do a job there. He can transform his game there. He's already done that. And at the moment, Manchester United have got a player there that is willing to do that, and that's the most important thing. So for me, I'm disagreeing with you again, mate. Appreciate your comment, buddy. But no, Ahmad can't play right wing back, says Real recognise Real. Yes, he can. I'm going to disagree with another member of mine. Yes, he can. Half the games he's played this season have been at right wing back. Again, I keep saying it. And a lot of his production has come from right wing back as well. Don't forget that. And also, don't forget, the best game that we have had this season, or one of the best games, was away at Steaua Bucharest when he came on that right-hand side and linked up with Kobe in that number 10 role. Just remember, Just remember these games, people. Don't think that it's a non-starter. People's positions change. Who'd have thought that Bruno Fernandes all of a sudden was playing at 6 this season, eh? Think about it. Come on now, everyone. And all of a sudden he's getting his best numbers that he's had at Man United. It's not always as it looks. Who'd have thought Garnacho would have been the right 10? Do you know what I mean? Look at it that way. That's how I'd look at it. And I think there is a positive there. Ahmad can play right wing back. And we know he can play right wing back. Gives us an option though, doesn't it? It does. And as attacking wing back, very good. I like it. If we are seriously in for right wing back, and 100% should be looking in-house at the youth, Kamasin and Mantato. Really have something. We are buying a 17-year-old Quenda Promote from the youth, then buying number 9. I said this all earlier on in my other video, and do you know what? There is a shout here, and the Muppeteers have done a piece today, actually, on the likes of Jack Fletcher and Mantato coming through and could feature before the end of the season. Kamasin, Mantato, Jack Fletcher. You've got Chido there as well. Obviously, you've got a young Ayden Heaven. I know we brought him in, but he's still only 18, and that's what you've got to remember in all of this. United are going to have an incredibly young squad going into next season, even if you bring some experienced players in. And this is where it gets a little bit concerning for some people in the transfer window, whereas we like the future, we like to look for the longevity and everything in the players and the transfers, and not buying quick fix players like we used to over the last decade or so. That's what I think it's been, in it, in the likes of Zlatan, Cavani, Falcao, that sort of player. There is the concern that you do need to mix it and blend it. And then we have got experienced players. I've said this before. You look at De Ligt, you look at Bruno. We need a quality number 9. I think that's the big one. I'm going to get onto that in a minute, actually, as well. Just saying there isn't an update on Ayden Heaven injury. He just came out and said he's recovering well. We don't have any news on it. Mate, don't be a sourpuss. I've just read you what Stephen Railsford from the MEN has said, and that there's an announcement coming out. We're just reading the room. We're not saying there was an announcement or anything's been said. We're just saying that it is coming, but it looks positive. So we're trying to be positive and upbeat, my friend. And yes, I feel like we are hopefully turning a corner in terms of the luck charm when it comes to injuries as well. So I'm going to manifest Heaven coming back and being fit. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to lead with what I've read and with what he has said as well. And as long as he comes back, and it don't matter if it's in a month, if he comes back this season, this is a bonus. Wait and see what Adam has to say on it. All right, you're number 1 to go to. Right, I've got you. Okay, so I'm reading right into some really early comments here, aren't I then? We don't need to spend 100 million plus on transfers. We just need to get the players on loan, see if they are good enough, and then buy them. Well, we may go into it, Nico, into the loan market. You might be right about that bit, mate. We are going to have to be savvy and clever with all of this. We do. And I think it's going to be a case of seeing what Ineos are really made of in that structure this summer. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that side of it, in how they managed to get the deals done. Let's see what else we've got here. Hey, Adam, it sounds like his injury isn't as bad, and Aiden panicked. It does. Like, if you don't know, and you've never had an injury before, you don't know what's hit you. And probably the initial reaction from Aiden was pure panic. I would. Like, you don't know. I remember the first time that I sprained my ankle playing football, and I thought something serious had happened. Only quite a few years later, when I did actually do my ankle ligaments, did I realise what a real injury was. And a sprain is nothing compared. It's not nice, don't get me wrong, but whoa. Seriously, the ligament side of things, it's a no-go area, that, isn't it? It is probably the worst injury that you could get. And let's see what else we've got in here. Okay, right, so we've got plenty to get through. So over 1,100 in the room already. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Over 200 live likes as well. You're smashing it, people. Let's move on, because we did talk about the recruitment, and we did talk about young players, Heaven, some academy players coming through, like Jack Fletcher, like Mantato, like Kamasin, like Chido. All of these players earmarked to make Manchester United debuts, hopefully going into the next 2 seasons. Scanlon was on the bench the other day. Obviously, we've got Ibrahimov coming through as well, Bayern Kere. We've got... obviously, there was one more I was missing there as well. You could bring in Fitzgerald, you could bring in Thwaites, you could bring in more else. I mean, my God, like, how many more do you want? You've got Kakonki to come in as well. there is talent there, but we need experience. And the word coming out, and this is the transfer news from today and what's going around, is on the striker side of things. Now, Rasmus has been talking, and we'll touch on that. He's just given his verdict on Ruben Amorim and him being happy at Manchester United. Eriksson has come out and said that he doesn't know what his future is. We can definitely say that it's away from Manchester United. He's not going to get another 150 grand contract for not featuring much in a season. But United's recruitment is looking towards strikers right now. And there is two that they are definitely looking at. That is Hugo Ekitike from Frankfurt and Liam Delap, which we've spoken about aplenty. So, I've done the digging and I've done some research and homework on these two players in particular and what it might cost United and the issues that come with them. I'm not wanting to sound like we can't get these players, but they do have red flags on both of them for me anyway. Both straight away are contracted for the next 4 years at their current clubs. So, with Frankfurt buying Ekitike from, I think it was Rent actually, as an academy player. I'm pretty certain it was. They brought him in to only last season. He signed in 2004. And that straight away there tells you that, unfortunately, they're not going to willing to let him go. Let's not forget, City have just taken Omar Mamouche from Frankfurt as well. And they will not want to be letting go of their striker. All eyes on that Spurs game and the quarter-final against Frankfurt as well. So if you want to see Hugo Ekitike play and what he's all about, 6'2" plus, big striker. Good goal output this season as well. 38 games, 19 goals, 8 assists. He was up there alongside Mamouche. Was phenomenal in Germany this season. Absolutely brilliant. And City have brought a real player there, unfortunately for us United fans. But Ekitike is obviously the understudy and the player that has probably gone under the radar because of Mamouche. And when you look at him and what he brings, everything looks great. It's the German league. But here come the red flags for me. Like I said, 2029, just been brought in by Frankfurt last summer. They're not going to want to sell. Yes, they could be a selling club. But let's not forget, they've just got, 60 million for Mamouche. They don't really need to sell. They're in a strong position financially right now, and they're going good guns, great guns even, in the Bundesliga this season. They are a really good side, and I think they will beat Spurs and knock them out of the Europa League, the way Spurs are turning up at the moment anyway. It's a tough game, and my money is on Frankfurt to beat them. So they're a good outfit. They don't need to sell anyone because of Mamouche, and obviously you've got the contract situation anyway, so they can drive a hard bargain. Now, his market value, yes, on paper it doesn't look too bad, 40 million euros. You're never going to be able to get him for that. Red flag number 2, again, it's another young player, 22, and I like it. It's good. I would rather buy a 25, 26-year-old striker right now, rather than another Rasmus Højlund. And I'm not saying he's the same as Rasmus. I'm just saying it's the same age. And we need an experienced striker to come into Manchester United. I don't want to put him down. I don't want to say he's not going to be good enough. But we need a now. We need a now striker. And if you're going to spend that much money, it surely has to be on a player that is ready to cook now, who knows the Premier League. Now, I'm going to compare Liam Delap in a minute, but I'm not saying that Liam Delap is ready to go. He has got a year's experience in the Premier League. He's obviously played in the Championship as well. But still, Ekitike, he looks a quality player, but again, unproven in the Premier League. And that's the killer for me. And then you've got his wages. Now, this is really interesting because he's on a basic 56 grand a week wages right now. That's pounds converted from euros from what he's being paid in Germany. So I've converted it. It's 56,000. There's a bonus scheme being played out at Frankfurt at the moment, which is what we spoke about earlier on today, about the incentives and what a lot of the bigger European clubs are doing right now. And if they perform well, then they get more money. And we talked about this with the Kobe Mainu situation earlier on, but Ekitike gets 56 basic, and then there is bonuses which take his weekly wage up to £81,000 a week. So if he's on that, he's going to want 100 grand a week minimum from Manchester United, which is going to be 20-30 million more than what Rasmus Højlund is on. This is where United, for one, need to just be aware, because he's going to want to He's going to want high wages at Manchester United. Frankfurt are not going to want to sell him because he's the only striker. Well, he's not the only striker they've got, but he's the only well-known one after bringing him in the summer and Mamouche leaving. So there's another one. And then you're looking at that contract situation. He's not going to want to leave and be on anything less than that. I don't think United are prepared to pay a 22-year-old unproven in the Premier League that much money. And therefore, I think this deal is going down the pan. I don't know how you can negotiate this in. He hasn't played for the national team yet. French international, by the way. Plays for the under-21s. Has got 3 goals. Got 2 goals in 3 games in that as well. Very, very, very good player. But I don't know if United can afford him. And I'm only saying that. It sounds basic and it sounds like we can. But would you want to spend that much when you could go and get a proven striker for not too far away from that price? And that's the other side of the argument and why it might be too much, because you can get a more guaranteed striker. Now, he is going to be good probably in the future, but in the start of this development and what's happening right now, do we not need a little bit more reliability when it comes to that forward line? And his numbers are great in the Bundesliga. And that's all I'm going to say on that one. And again, you could argue that point against Jonathan David, for instance, in Ligue 1, like we said earlier on. But still, Jonathan David has scored 8 or 9 goals in the Champions League this season at the highest level. And he's done his time and seen out a contract. And I think he's worth more. And I think that would be a player that I would probably take over Ekitike. Delap, the other hand, 20 grand a week, no bonuses. It's cheap. You could probably get a really dirt cheap contract. How about this, Liam? I'll treble your wages and bring you into Manchester United. He's still only on 60 grand a week. That sounds a bit better, doesn't it? But then again, 2029 contract expires. What can you get him for? What are Ipswich going to sell him for? Well, Ipswich are going down. So bonus for United is they will be able to drive a harder bargain for Liam Delap and bring him in. But again, is he enough? I would like Liam Delap at Manchester United. I would buy Delap and Jonathan David because David's a free. And Delap's wages are going to be peanuts compared. You could get Jonathan David and Liam Delap for... What the hell is that? Get off. I'm on my actual information page here and a bloody program's bleeding come up on me. Advertisements, my ass. Get off my screen. Selling bleeding holidays. Anyway, yeah, so what I was about to say was you've got Liam Delap and you've got Jonathan David and you're still 150 grand near enough less than what Marcus Rashford's getting right now. That is the reality of the wage structure at United, what they're trying to get rid of and what they're trying to bring in. I just think Hugo Ekitike, as good as he is, there is a lot of flaws within that deal, I feel, more than anything. The player, no issue. Apart from the experience, the money, you could get someone else. It's just where I'm at with it. I'm going to come to the chat on this now and see what you're all thinking along the sides. Adam's jazz movie started premature. Can we get Angel Gomez on a free still? Yes, we can. Please do hit the subscribe button. Modern Samurai is saying as well. 1,300 of you in the room. Get your comments in, everyone. But actually already about to hit 300 live likes. And giving you as much information as possible there, everyone, in terms of what we're looking at player-wise. Obviously, we know now Ekitike, Liam Delap. You've also got the likes of Jonathan David. We know about Osimhen. We know about Gyökeres. We know about Sesko. We know about every one of them strikers now. We've seen about, 7 or 8 linked with Manchester United. A decision needs to be made. And obviously it will, again, be determined by what competition Manchester United are in, whether we're in the Champions League next season or Europe, or no European football at all. So, again, it is going to cost a fair whack to get the right type of striker in. I think that, and what I've always said, is where the majority of Manchester United's funds this summer are going to be going. They have to be. They have to be on a proper striker. And if you're going to spend probably, 40 million on an unproven Premier League player, you might as well spend another 20 million to get the goals and guarantee you the success to get back up there. Is all I'm saying. That's what I would do. And I said before, when I was talking about Ahmad and was talking about him being that right wing back for next season and bringing through academy players as well, he can chop and change in between 10 and right wing back, can do both roles, and save us the money of going out and having to buy a right wing back and put that extra money into the striker that we really need. I'll go all out and get the one striker that's definitely going to take United to that next level. You get where I was going? A lot of you have disagreed with me, which is fine, and I can see why you would. But a lot of people are actually seeing it for what it is right now, which is an opportunity within ourselves to create a decent side next season already. If you add the right players in that striker and in that number 8, I think more than anything, then you're good to go. You're good to go. And that is all on the basis that Ahmad is going to play on the right wing back, in the right wing back position. That's it. Right, into the comments we go. Been a fan since 57 Cup final. The current crop of youth is as good as the class of 92 and more of them. Difference is now league stronger, takes longer for them to get first team. This is what I mean. Like, you've got, and we're speaking to Kaz about this the other day, when we're talking about the possibility of Anana not playing against Leicester, and obviously you had me coming in as well, Dermot Me. He's 22. Why is he still at Man United? Why is there a 22-year-old at Manchester United? Like, academy players, 18, 19, we should be knowing where they're going. Why is there a 22-year-old still here? It just goes to show, doesn't it? These players need to be out on loan. Football structure needs to take control and get these players out on loan. A lot of that academy needs to be out on loan next season so we can really see what they're made of. It's going to be an interesting pre-season to see if any of them make it into that pre-season squad with Ruben Amorim, but still, I think that's what we need to be looking at. They need to be out on loan. Okay, keep your comments coming in and going through as many as I possibly can now. Markesh says, smashed that like button. Adam, wouldn't an X-ray be wise for Heaven, or do they have that within the facilities? Great news if he's not broken or anything. No, United do have the facilities to do things like that and scan simple things, which I think they're looking at it as. So, yeah, that will be all done. They will be assessed. The fact that he's not had to go to hospital, like we said, tells us a lot in terms of severity anyway. If we win 6 games in a row in the Premier League next, we can still get top 5. Go on the most miraculous run ever and turn the season around like no other. Basically, we've got 9 games left this season. Can we win the majority of them and get into the top half of the table and then just scare a few people? I'm telling you right now, just quickly off topic, there's plenty of teams that are fighting for big honours, as in getting into Europe next season, that have got to play Manchester United yet, that are bricking it because they don't know what they're coming up against. And it is, I've said this before, probably the worst time to play Manchester United, because all of a sudden we're actually switching on and you don't know who is going to turn up. Players are finding form and we're looking half dangerous again. You don't take points off City, Arsenal and Liverpool and not be noticed, is what I'm saying. And there will be teams that, yeah, we'll probably lose to, but we're going to scare a few people going into the end of this season. It's going to be a good old running, I think. Delap ain't no quality. If he was from any other country, there would be zero hype. I don't know, mate. I don't know. It depends where he's playing, doesn't it? He's playing in the hardest league in Europe, and he's doing all right. And that's what you've got to look at. What midfielder would you buy and what can we afford? Is Edison too expensive, Adam? He's not. Edison isn't expensive, and there seems to be a bit of a price that's lingering around and staying on Edison's head, actually, which is around the 50 million mark. I would buy him in a heartbeat for 50 million. He's an outstanding midfielder. I personally don't think we would get him because of us not being in Europe, but if we get Champions League football, and if, I know, and I'm going to keep saying it, but if we did get Edison, it would be because we've got into the Champions League and United's team would transform. It would. He is immense, that player. I love him. He's brilliant. Adam, 7/8 players linked to United, but will it be the player Amorim wants or the board want to get? Worries me a bit. Don't worry. Don't worry, I say, Peter, because this is a structure and this is a team and scouting system in place at United now that knows how Amorim wants to play. Let's not forget the words that came out of Sir Jim Radcliffe. He convinced Manchester United to not go for a certain playing style and wanted to go with Amorim's plan. They know what he wants. They know the profile of player he wants. And they are going to give him multiple options. And he will pick from them. That's proper football structure. That's how it works, mate. I'm not worried about it, mate. I'm really not. Highland's weekly wage is small. It's the transfer fee. That's an issue. 2 years into a 5-year deal. Look, United can sell Rasmus and make a profit this summer. They can. And what Graham's saying there, it's probably 1 year too soon to get any real profit out of it. When you know that there's a chance that he could probably turn his career around still with the right support and team around him, that's what you're gambling right now. You've got a player who's low wages who could turn into that second striker for United. The only issue we've got is we always revert back to thinking how much we freaking paid for him, which is an absolute travesty. If we take that fee out of the equation and you look at what you've got right now and you don't cry over spilt milk and you look at Rasmus as a 22-year-old who is all too willing to work and train and take his spot on the bench if necessary at Manchester United and work his way in under other players, you've got a good player. You've got someone who can come in when he should be coming in. And that is after the player that's supposedly supposed to be there, scoring the goals, has done his job and Rasmus gets on to get his minutes. Rasmus comes on an FA Cup or starts the Carabao Cup or a few Europa League ties and things like that. Rasmus Højlund should be starting 20 games a season at his age right now. And that's the type of striker we bought for 75 million. Bang! I know. That's what we keep going back to. And it is so painful to think back to being absolutely ripped to bits by Atalanta for him. They always won. They should be giving us bleeding Edison. I mean, Christ. Honestly, if it wasn't for getting Ahmad from them, I'd be absolutely spewing with them right now. But we have got a very good relationship. No shit, we've got a good relationship with Atalanta. Did you see what we paid for Rasmus Højlund? Good God. But yeah, in terms of the financial fair play side of things, Rasmus, 1 more year would have been easier for United. I don't think he's going to be sold. If anything, he's going to go on loan. But United need backup strikers. And he's the only striker alongside Chido at the club. If we bring in 1 more, we then have got a couple of levels of strikers. This is why I'm saying go get a Jonathan David at 25, 26. Then you've got a 22-year-old Rasmus. Then you've got an 18-year-old Chido. You're going down in stages then. And it looks like you've actually got a bit of squad depth. And it looks like you've actually got a plan, really, when you look at the age of them strikers. So, I think Rasmus would mature off a loan or staying if we brought in another striker. I think he's a good second striker to have at the club. You've just got to try and take yourself away from that fee and not thinking about it. Don't think about it too much. Don't let it worry you. But I've just brought it up about 4 times myself there. It absolutely knocks the hell out of me. I cannot believe we did it, but it's gone. Rasmus has the quality to excel as a top striker. I think he will finish the season strongly and hopefully with an experienced striker in that squad, then he will benefit even more. I'd go for David, says Mr. Dacia Sandero. Gary in the chat says, if we got Rasmus for the initial €35 million we got quoted, it wouldn't be an issue. The price tag is heavy on young shoulders. He will come good, though by time he is 25, 26, he'll be lethal. And that is why you want to keep hold of him, because you might be missing out and you might be letting him go too soon. That's what you're always worried about. And I'm not just saying this because he scored at weekend. I've been saying this for months now, and you've all heard it here on the show. I've been saying that he probably suits a loan more because United still could find themselves bringing back a top striker after he goes and excels on a loan. And then what is he? He's 23, 24. And then you're buying that type of Victor Gyökeres striker when he started to really come to fruition as well and start to play well. So that's what you've got to look at, if anything. Keep them comments flying in, everybody, please. We are going to hit 400 live likes. I'm convinced of it tonight. Bit of time left yet. We're only, 31 is it? No, 41. No, 30. 31, isn't that? No, it's 41, Adam. Oh, God, maths. Jesus, yeah, 41 more likes, people. Just get them in quick so I don't look like an idiot. Thank you. I've got a plan for the summer transfer window. Ignore all the rumours and wait till here we go and the shirt is held up. That's just boring, Michael. That's just boring, mate. And we like to talk about stuff. We like to figure out our own opinions on certain players and figure out what we might be able to do. Because let's be honest, I think everybody's excited about Man United's academy and who we won't have to buy rather than have to buy, because we've got young lads coming through. We talked earlier on about Fletcher. We talked about Mantato, Kamasta. We talked about all of these players coming through. I would love it if we didn't buy anyone this summer because the talent in our academy was so good. But we know we cannot just bring in academy players. We are going to be selling quite a few of them, I feel. I think a lot are going to be sold this summer. Let's get into a few more of these. But yeah, I mean, there's a few people. Akatike, do you feel like he is the right man? Or like I said before, the contract situation with him, you just got to look at, honestly, again, everything. And I always do this. And it's all right bringing up a name. But did anybody realise that he had that contract where he could earn £81,000 a week already? And that's just in the Bundesliga. But on that, like I said there, that just opened up a different kind of worms there. Because this is how Manchester United and the Premier League should be operating with wages. The Germans have got it down. The Germans have got it sorted. 56 base rate going up to £81,000 a week. That sounds good. And I'm guessing he's earning a lot of that because he's got 27 goal involvements this season. Man, what I'd give to have a striker that had them numbers right now. And I would be all too happy to pay him 81 grand a week wages. But what a good structure that is. And I think that's an example of how football clubs can be run. And maybe this is where United could actually go with it. Look, you'll be paid the world if you perform. There's your base rate. You could earn an extra 20, 30 grand a week if you perform well. How different would that be? And there's no surprise that Frankfurt have bleeding excelled this season. I bet if I look through their squad, there'd be a number of players on these enhanced wages and bonuses. There's a lot of the European clubs that have it as well. And it's interesting to read that, I think. Gary Burton, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you, everybody who is a member already as well. There will be more members content popping up tomorrow as well on the channel. They're going to be bringing you them weekly as well now, so make sure that you do stay tuned in for that. If you are a member, that content is coming up later on tomorrow as well. Keeping you filled with content these days, guys. Jam-packed. United is unlikely to loan Højlund. He will stay alongside a new number 9, says Graham. Gary says, cheers, mate. Just realised my name wasn't green. Can't be having that. I love that. Cheers for that, Gary. Legend, mate. Just to go over the top story of the show again, Aiden Heaven. If you are just joining us, because there is quite a few people that have just joined the show right now. Stephen Railsford of the MEN, who is very close to Manchester United, even in particular the youth academy team players, has come out with a piece today in the MEN saying Manchester United are set to clarify Ayden Heaven's injury situation this week, but the fact he didn't visit the hospital and left in a protective boot must be seen as a positive ahead of the announcement. He has taken to social media as well to thank everybody and say that he is recovering fast, which is all good signs. I expect another 4 weeks out. That's what I'm thinking. I think he'll be back at the end of April, which is good news for United because it could have been the whole season. Honestly, if he can come back and do a job for us in the latter stages of the Europa League and the Premier League this season, or even rest players coming in for players that need a rest from the Europa League in a certain Premier League game, that's all we can hope for now for Ayden Heaven. But it's positive. And I'm absolutely loving this guy at the moment. I think he's an absolute diamond. And them words of Ruben Amorim are still ringing in my head. I think we've got a real player here. Bang! And he started the next game. I didn't expect it. I thought he was going to be dropped back to the bench. Yeah, honestly. I thought he was going to be back out on a bit. But no, Ruben sticks to it, doesn't he? He does. We've had a poll running for most of the show, actually. Please vote on it. We've had well over 1,000 votes. What league position will United finish? 7th to 11th, 52% of you have voted that. 12th to 14th, 44% of you have voted that. 15th or lower. So basically 15th, I would say there. But If we went lower, that would be a disastrous end to the season. But only 4% of you have voted that anyway. Just under 1,400 in the room. Over 400 likes. Legends. Love you all. KG Osto says, makes sense. Players earn their bonuses and the club will be able to afford to give them those bonuses because they would have earned revenue from trophies and big sponsorships for being successful on the pitch. Laddie fucking da. It's a simple game, isn't it, football sometimes? But you're dead right, mate. That's exactly how I see it. Yeah. And I think it's a no-brainer. Like, I know it's difficult because it's the old grandfather rules, isn't it? Grandfather rights. It's already instated, so you can't change something. It's like why the Premier League can't kick the Glazers out because they're already in, and now the rules are too late and we can't change anything. Can you change a wage structure within the Premier League while it's still running? Well, wouldn't everyone kick off about that? I do believe that the wage structure, and I said this in the morning show today as well, is already starting to come down a little bit in the Premier League, simply because nobody can afford it, and PSR and financial fair play are gripping this whole league right now. Expect them loopholes to be absolutely violated, though, soon when City beat the Premier League in their court case over the sponsorship, in the owner sponsorship rules and what's going on with that. That will open up everything, and you can see all the rich owners taking advantage of that. Would Ineos take advantage of that is the question. No, they wouldn't, because they're not going to give the Glazers any more money unless they get more power. And that's going to be the tug of war between our two owners right now, which is more concerning for Manchester United fans, I feel, than anything else. Who is going to have more of a say? Like, Ineos are running the show, but the Glazers are still in charge. It's confusing at the moment for everybody to understand what the mission is and what the plan is for Sir Jim, especially with him being the age he is as well. It is a weird one, and the dynamic is hard to understand for anybody, but they're going to have to figure something out. 15th and win the Europa. Europe, says Boxing. Yeah. What's going on with the charges? I heard decision soon. Yeah, we're expecting to hear about the 115 charges as well. In fact, there was a story going around on Sky. I think someone actually put it up. Kaz sent it to me earlier on, and it came in. I'll just read it now, actually. This tells you that the 115 charges are coming up very soon. Mike Keegan of the Daily Mail has said, Sky Sports have urged their pundits not to make snap judgments and to stick to the facts before commenting on the forthcoming verdict in the Premier League's legal battle against Manchester City. Ooh, that means it's very, very close to being announced. Which way you take that, I do not know. But I personally feel like they are going to get a point deduction, but it's not going to be anywhere near enough to get them relegated. I think they will be done for some of these charges. And it may scupper up a title charge for them. Personally, for me, I would say get the point deduction that's necessary and transfer ban. I think that's the way that you hit Manchester City. If they're found guilty, that's what they should be getting. They should be getting that. I mean, they cannot be relegated. They're not allowed to be relegated, is what the rule is. But there is enough points that they could be deducted if they lose a lot of the charges for them to pretty much be relegated. It can only be a point deduction. That came from Kieran Maguire, football finance expert, by the way. It's not my say-so on that one. That was what Kieran Maguire said. So they cannot be relegated, but there can be enough points with the charges that are in play to relegate them, if you get what I mean. Say, for instance, they had a 50-point deduction, sorry, a 50-point penalty, then they're going to struggle to make that back up, aren't they? That's what we're saying anyway. But look, Jonathan in the chat says the manager's job, it gets more difficult when we get players back. Expectations will go up, and everyone will have a different opinion on who should start. Anthony with another assist the other day, by the way, at weekend. He is on absolute fire. And there were more stories going around earlier on as well. I just want to wrap the show up with this. Jadon Sancho, again, you would have seen on a few aggregator accounts, Chelsea could come out and bail out of the Sancho deal and pay the penalty. We talked about this the other day. Yes, I think it's come from Pete Hall, who is a good journalist who works around Manchester United. Top guy, Pete, actually. But he's writing what he's saying, but it's just the same stuff. He's just saying what Chelsea could do, and everybody's jumped onto it on social media and made it more than what it is. There's nothing really in it at all, because it's just what we heard before. And Romano, the only voice with any real depth of contact, apart from David Ornstein in everything, has said that Chelsea's plan is still to keep Jadon Sancho into next season. I can touch everything that is wood right now. I'm telling you, please, everybody, touch the wood right now. We don't want freedom fighter back at Manchester United. No, thank you. Sling your hook, bleeding hell. God, I'll be devastated if he came back to United. Look, it should be all right. We just need him to start playing well, for God's sake. Anyway, that's what's been said on that side of things. Andre Onana, again, same news from Pete Hall. He's just talking about what's come out from Manchester United. We heard it all a few days ago. It's the same stories. It's just been regurgitated. Everything Pete says is right. He's just done an interview with another channel, and it's come out and the quotes have been spread. So don't take them to heart. Don't think that anything's changed from what we said the other day. It's not. They're just what's in place right now. And Onana likes it at United. Sancho could be bailed out by a penalty and has to come back to Man United. We know all of that already. Nothing's changed from the other day. It's just what was there before. Andre won't be Man United's number one goalkeeper. I don't care what anybody says. If you're looking to progress, then you can't have someone like Andre Onana in goal for you next season. It's got to be as simple as that, surely. Please do give the video a like, by the way. We are 22 away. I'm only asking again for the umpteenth time now. Sorry if I'm just plowing that down, but we haven't had 500 live likes on a show for a while. It would be absolutely brilliant to get that tonight. Absolutely brilliant input from you all tonight. It's been immense, actually. There's been so many decent comments, and actually real comments as well. I feel like the community is understanding what we're all about here on FUTV. It's balanced and everybody gets a say. We just don't take needless abuse. And some people do save it for the comments afterwards now. But what I look at in them is just go, yeah, thanks. See you later. Thanks for the what's the name? Notifications. Thanks for the input. Thanks for the actual interaction. And yeah, we move on from there and we just laugh at him. We do. Because there are some cretins out there. We know that. But majority of people on the show, and I can tell just from the live chat how good it is. We have the best community out there by far. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And I can see loads of people have subscribed to the show just while we've been live tonight. If you are new, welcome along, everyone. Make sure that you do get your comments in on all of the live shows. We are live at least twice a day. So there's plenty for you to get your teeth into. We usually do spot videos as well. I have got a special video coming up for you this week, actually. Something, I want to say completely different. It's completely different. Trust me on that one. That will be with you on Friday. So something to look forward to for the end of the week. I have got a special show on Big Up coming up at weekend as well. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't, make sure that you do subscribe to Big Up. That's our other watch along and streaming channel as well. We do have another YouTube channel as well, everybody, which is Football Talks. Please do subscribe to that. That's where I go through all of the other Premier League news and certain things going around. I've got a feeling I'm going to be busy on that, going off that City news, which is starting to circulate. So, yeah, there's going to be plenty coming up on all of the channels over the next couple of weeks before the football kick starts again. But it is going to be some finish to the season, isn't it, for United right now? And I think we're one of them clubs right now that's actually got something to play for. And actually have a bit of season left in us. So it's going to be good. And I'll have it all covered here on FUTV for you all, as always. One of my mods guests there has just kindly dropped the link for Football Talks into the live chat. So please go and subscribe to that channel as well. There is always content coming up on there. That will be back on tomorrow as well. And members, again, like I said earlier on, don't forget to stay tuned tomorrow. I'll bring you another members video. That'll be coming out tomorrow as well. So until then, absolute legends, a lot of you. All I'm asking you to do right now is please hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you have given the video a like. We have gone over 500 live likes because you're all absolutely awesome and you love it. Thank you very much, everybody. Make sure that you get your comments in on all the topics. If I didn't get round to your live comments, sorry, there's just that many of you in the room. But I do like to look back at the comments when they hit the video format later on when the live is finished. But that's us. We're all done, everybody. Have a great evening. I'll see you all tomorrow, 8 o'clock, sharpish.